Did we start yet? I never really know. There we are. Yay. Good morning, Bus Creatives. How is everybody? I'm so excited to be in here. Okay, let me just get a couple things refreshed as we're starting. Make sure that everything is running perfectly. Who is excited and happy about today? It's a beautiful day here in Virginia Beach area. It's beautiful. So if you are popping on, let me know. I know I got the early Sunday morning time slot. I'm going to get you guys raring to go here. I just want to make sure. There we go. Hello, Lori from Ohio. Good morning, Bonnie. Yes, everybody tell me, say good morning as you come in. Let me know that you're watching. Again, if you are, good morning, Linda. If you are watching the replay, just hashtag replay. Let us know that you're watching on every video that you miss or you watch the replay. Yes, there is happy mail to be had here. So if you sprinkle this video, I will know, and at the end of the day today, I will do a drawing for Happy Mail, which I think is going to be, I don't know exactly yet. I love Happy Mail. I love sending Happy Mails. Good morning, Tracy and Angela and Marty. Lori, thank you very much for sprinkling the love. So love that. So a couple just things as we wait for people to kind of pop on. Who has, I know I have some West Coast people that are like, I am going to get out of bed at 7 a.m. and join you with my coffee. Ladies, it's 10. I can't believe it's 10 o'clock already, and I still have my coffee. I was sitting here. Thank you, Angela, and good morning. Good morning, Molly. Thank you, Marty. I am still on coffee. As I was setting things up, I was listening to my sermons from my church, and but I'm very excited. I'm very excited to kind of start the day like this. Thank you, Linda. That's very sweet of you. And Angela, thank you for sprinkling. Yes. Let me know. And it's always good, too, if you say in the comments that you sprinkled, just because sometimes if you do the SHARE thing, but you have more of a private account, it won't auto-populate that for me. So if you write that you sprinkled, I can double check to make sure that you are on my list to win tonight. And I just have an app and it scrolls through and it's going to pick somebody. So yes, it's 9 in Texas. I know most of you, so many of you are in Texas. Sorry, my dog is like laying on my feet. I couldn't figure out what that was. Most of you, I know so many of you are on Central Standard Time. Marty and I know are East Coast. Good morning, Christy. All right. So, again, thanks, Marty. I know, it's so weird. You know, we're kind of in between. Like our church is, our satellite church runs out of the local high school. And so it took a while to get back, things for the kids. It's just different. It's just different. And so sometimes we listen. It is early for a Sunday. Yep, I got your start off. I'm a little chipper, so hopefully y'all are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to go. And this is only my first cup of coffee, which is very strange too. Okay, so we got that out of the way. We'll go back to it. Who's ready? Is she cute? She's so cute. I love this design. I have done this. Many of you know how much I love my girls. Tracy, that is SHARE in the little arrow. If you, we're not allowed to say that. Yes, we're not. They don't like that word. Although I think they're catching on to the sprinkle word too. I need to come up with like a code word. Like we need to say if you sugar hill it. If you sugar hill it. Right? All right. So here's what we have. She's so cute. As I was saying, I do a lot of girls. And any of you that have ever watched in any of our groups that I've done. I know I did some tag. I just love to paint girls. And I do love to do faces as well. But I know a lot of you don't like faces. And, this was a spin-off of a design that we had. And so I've painted it a few different ways. And I thought this would be super fun to do. Good morning, Joni. I thought this would be super fun to do with you. It's really simple. Most of you should have gotten the tracer. Let's see I have plenty of time. She said, this is so cute, cute, fast. I'm not tooting my own horn at all. I really am not. All right, let's copy this link. And I'm going to put the tracer link in here too, in case you haven't gotten it. Okay, but it is in the page. But there is the tracer. You just fill that out and you will have it, which is really you could freehand this easily. That's what I did. But I just went in my Procreate and kind of just traced it quickly. You'll see how loose it is. I want it to be loose for you guys. Good morning, Mel. Mel, what time is it? You're in the UK, aren't you? Aren't you across the pond? I really need to pay attention as to the time in that. Okay, so it's a really loose sketch, and there's a reason for that, ladies, because there's nothing precise about this painting. There's nothing precise about most of my paintings. I can do it. However, it's more fun. You do have to sign, Joni, you just sign up. You do have to sign up for it. Just put in your name and your email, which I already have your email anyways, so you won't start getting it 2:30 in the UK. Okay. You won't get more than one email from me. Yeah. So you just put your email in there and it just will allow you to download it. You won't get more than one from me. That's all it is. It just signs you in to release the download, and then it's an instant download. Okay. So, and guys, I don't send out a lot of emails at all because I'm kind of a terrible email person in opening or different things. They're saying I missed a lot that I really wish I would have opened. So I understand the inundation of emails that we get. I will not. I'll never flood you guys with emails. I just don't want you to miss some really fun things though too. Okay, so really loose. If you have carbon paper, if you don't, you just take your pencil on the back side, trace that over. I'm just painting on, and I traced it for you guys. I am working today on just my favorite mixed media, Canson mixed media pad. This is great. It holds up to acrylics. It holds up to watercolors. It's fantastic for drawing, for oil pastels, just about anything. So, this is a great thing to have. You'll catch it on sale. Sometimes they're BOGO. Sometimes they're half. Use your coupon at Michael's. You can find it on Amazon and different places like that. But it's just about the same or easier. I think even doesn't Walmart sell these? Good morning, Debbie. Debbie, where are you? Are you in California? So you're over on the West Coast right now too, right? You could do this right on these canvas boards, right? You can get these at the dollar stores. You can do this on canvas. You could do this on a card. Absolutely anything. This one is done on the mixed media paper, and then I just cut it down to an 8x10 because that way we can frame it, my friends. You know how I love to buy pre-made. Yes, Linda. I love to buy the like frames, even from the dollar store. I take them outside and paint them, or I'll use my chalk paint to paint them. But they're just a fun way to I'm sorry, ladies. They're a fun, just a basic frame. Of course, I don't have one in here. My favorite one broke. That's what you get for the dollar store, though. These canvas boards pop right in there. They're beautiful. If you've watched me, you've seen me do it 1,000 times. If you're not following Sugar Hill, get on over there and start following Sugar Hill Art Studio. I'm just kidding. Linda, you are so correct. I had posted this morning because last night, I couldn't watch yesterday, but last night I kind of binge watched everybody, and there are so many fantastic tutorials so far, and we have a whole other day today, and I know we've got great things coming up today, so super fun. Here we go. I thought about changing the colors up, but I think I'm going to keep the colors the same just because that way I can teach you. You, of course, I'm going to push you guys to do your own colors. I hope that angry and sad sad faces are for, I don't know why they're for. I hope they're a mistake. Did I offend somebody? I hope not. Anyways, good morning, Anna Bird. Okay, so I'm keeping them within the same colors. Simple, easy. They're just great colors, right? Turquoise and pink, black and white. So my background is Key West. Usually, ladies, do you know that I am kind of new? Oh, thank you for all the hearts. That makes me happier. I am new to craft paint. Yes, and the laughs. I like the laugh face too. He's my favorite. Linda is my emoji guru. Like, I have no right using the smiley face with a cowboy hat on, but she makes me want to use it. I mean, I did live in Texas for a little while, but I just don't feel as if. No, it's okay, Debbie. I figure it's probably a mistake. I don't think I said anything offensive or upset anybody. I've done it. It's easy to do. All right. So here's what we're doing. I used Key West, and then sometimes it's too green, so I mix in a little bit of blue sky. And I know listen, ladies, use what you have. Use what you have. Use what you like. I'm terrible. Like, there's a reason you don't have a supply list from me, and that is because I'd be happy if you want it, and if you want the specifics, I will always give it to you. However, I am going to push you to, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to push you to explore and do your own thing, always, over at Sugar Hill. So I'm just grabbing a little bit of both paint and some white, not really even mixing it in, okay? And we're just going to start to paint. And we're going to see what color it gets to be. And don't worry, because I have just it's probably a half of an inch, not quite an inch flat. I'm working small, but just a nice flat brush. Oh my goodness. Luke, are you there? Can you bring me my water that I left next to the sink, please, in the mason jar? Sorry, ladies. Nice straight line. See that? You can get a nice straight line to go along her dress if you need to. Thanks, bud. You want to say good morning? No? Good morning. That, my friends, is 14. All right, there's my water. It's humid here today. If your paints start to get sticky or whatnot, just add a little water to your brush. We are just going along the edges. It'll pop through. But I like a blended background, right? I don't want it all one solid color. This Key West color is one of my favorites. Linda, is that you that loves this color as well? There's so many different possibilities. I mean, I am hoping all of you, I will put a post over in Sugar Hill, and even here underneath the video or somewhere in Bus Creative, I'm hoping that you guys will share your creations if you paint this, because it's, I mean, really do it for all the artists, because we just love to see what you guys create. It just, we sit, we paint, we teach, we want to spread the joy and the therapy of art, right? And so when you share with us what you're doing or what it looks like, that is so joyful. That's reward for us, right? That is like reward for giving you all these fun, free painting tutorials. Because I promise, ladies, nobody's is ever bad. Good morning, Carol. Nobody's is bad. Nobody's is, there's no competition. I strongly urge you to share. And those of you that do share know how fun it is to share, right? And it's not scary. All right, there's my background. Now we're going to do her grass down at the bottom also right away. And this is just a little hunter green. You need very little, really. Hunter green, and I mixed it with a little bit of this teal blue turquoise color. I didn't want straight up green. I want to keep a lot of the green colors, or the blue teal green colors. You guys see that? Just making sure I've got everything. It's hard. So like I said, I'm kind of new to craft paints, and I'm learning what I can and can't mix together because they're already kind of pre-mixed. And we're just going to get this color down on the bottom. And it's okay if you go over her legs. And then as your brush dries off, just kind of kind of top that off, and you've got like some wispy little grass. Do what you want. I thought about putting flowers. Again, I had to force myself to stop. It was very hard for me not to turn her into complete mixed media. I'm loving the blue and white mixed in color. Yeah, like there's something about this like sky blue with the Key West and a little bit of white. The white with the Key West brings out almost like a tan color, but then you add the blue in, and I wish you guys could see it a little bit better, but it's really dimensional. They work really well together. And then, like I said, by adding in some turquoise into the green, you're just keeping that blue tint. So they're different colors, but they kind of flow together. Okay. All right. So now, and you see as it dries, you can see, I can still see my drying. No big deal. All right. So now we are going to, where's my favorite? Is it this one? Let's go. I think this one works a little bit better. I'm working smaller, so we are going to just throw a base layer, royal fuchsia. Some of you have recommended some pinks. Sometimes I have a really hard time finding pinks that I like. So painterly. That's the word you love? Oh, Debbie, I've already worked on that. Thank you. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Kathy. Let's see. What am I doing? Favorite pinks. Tell me your favorite pinks in craft paint. I know a lot of you use a lot. Can you see it's humid? Can you see my hair is starting to frizz as we're going along? All right. So we're going to grab this pink. We're going to grab a little bit of white. And I am just going to start to lay down color. I'm not thinking. This is why this project is good, okay? Ladies, don't think. Here's one thing you'll learn about me. A lot of you probably are much better. I'm terrible at, I'm a thick painter. You don't have to be. You just get your color down. Again, just a little bit of the white, a little bit of the pink. but kind of, try to set apart your flowers a little bit so but you're just kind of layering it in. When you go over the the green, you're going to want a little bit of white, more white in there to help with the opacity. What is everybody doing on this beautiful Sunday morning? Or this beautiful Sunday? The day does continue to go on. So just squiggle in some squiggle in those flowers. How are we on time? I love just lay down, paint. Yes. Royal fuchsia, yeah. I got you hooked on mixed media. That's my goal. I think there's something so freeing in mixed media that most creatives haven't discovered yet. And so, like, aside of their creative abilities that they haven't even discovered yet, and I want to just help everybody find that part of themselves. It's therapy, right? Throw me a heart or a thumbs up if you agree art is therapy. There is no doubt, right? It has saved so many of us through COVID. It's saved so many of us through life. I mean, for my life in general. I'm sorry that I have to keep clearing my throat. Ooh, pretty. Yes. Painting furniture and cabinets is one of my favorites. Planting herbs today. Yay. I know, it's like planting time. It is easy. Here's the thing. Don't think, just do. Don't think, just do. I promise. It's the key. Just do it, and it will fall together. We're just going to kind of start to throw some pinks in there. I'm actually going a lot slower than I typically would be. So I want you ladies to know that this is a fairly quick project. I think it would be a beautiful Mother's Day card. I already actually have ordered prints. I'm just going to keep throwing in that white and that pink. Just throw it in there. All over the place. Okay. I've got a couple little flowers down here. I'm so happy so many of you got to join me this morning. Really didn't know how many would be able to. What size brush? Okay, so when it comes to brushes, one of my favorites is Filbert, which is the rounded tip. Like, it's got a little bit of a rounded tip. I have no idea what size this is, and I can't even guess. I'm very bad on brushes. Like, I leave them in the water, so I've painted over many of my brushes and sealed them, because what happens when you leave them in water is they get all chippy and then they start to fall apart. Again, so this is why I say use what you're comfortable with. So Lisa, if you are comfortable, like if you're a round brush person, which I know so many people love their rounds, use the round that works for you in the size that you're working in. I think if I were, if you're a flat, just use what feels comfortable in your hand. If I was to guess, I'd say it's got to be somewhere around a 4. If you're looking at, here's my 6 Filbert. So, but sizes are different depending on the page. Oh, you're new to paint. Do you have brushes? So Lisa, if you have brushes, use what you have. I'm again, these ladies that are familiar with me will know that I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy things that you don't need. I'm going to tell you to use what you have. Half the time I use my fingers. So, you know, use what you have. So if you have brushes, play with those brushes. Yes, then play with what you have. Because you're new to painting, so you don't know if you like a flat or a round yet to paint flowers. So you need to play to find out. You need to come over to Sugar Hill's free journal and mixed media group. You need to join me over there because I know Marty can attest, most of the ladies, I push you to experiment and try different things so you know what works for you. I think that's I think it's important to push yourself and play because there's no mistakes in art. Yes, there are no mistakes in art. All right, I am going to just put in a little bit of these leaves here just so that I know where they are. All right, but most of my flowers are going to come over my leaves. Can you see how I'm just using the edge of my brush and just kind of drawing. The more imperfect, thank you, Tracy. That is the link, my friends. Yes, Tracy is one of my top contributors. We like to share our artwork in our journal pages. I have prompts every day. Well, 21. I don't push you to do it every day. I think 21 is good, and that allows you to journal every day, but it gives you some free time to play with what we're learning. So ladies, I'm just going in on the side and drawing in very loose leaves. Listen, the more free and the less you think, the less you think about what you're doing, the better your painting is going to be. If you start thinking too much, right? Because this is a fun, whimsical design. This isn't, you know, I'm not entering this into an art gallery for a show. This is just fun, whimsical painting. That's all she is. All right, let's get a little bit more of this darker green because now if you're not comfortable using like the side of that tip, get like a liner brush, the smallest brush you have. Another thing you can do when you load up, especially a pointer brush like this, you kind of put it in your paint and then roll it to get your point back. And then you're just going to kind of, we're just going to lay down a little bit of color so we know what we have. And really whimsical, ladies. Don't just do it. Don't worry about it. I actually probably shouldn't be quite putting these in yet. I should be putting the little purple backdrop flowers in. But we'll do this and give me an idea of where I want to be. Kind of brought one down here. Of course, if you don't like, you know, this is why this is so easy to freehand too. You know, if you don't have the tracer, and change things up if you want. Flowers, that's why I asked you ladies what bouquets. Do you know how many ideas I have floating through? My goodness, we had mixed bouquets and we had daisies and lilacs. Lilacs would be so pretty. I mean, who here can just smell the lilacs when I say a lilac bouquet? It's my girl Jess that suggested that one. What else was there? Carnations. Nobody said tulips. I don't think. Ranunculus are some of mine, which is kind of like this flower. It's like a peony. Hi, Linda. Linda's up later today too. Linda's at 5:30, I think. She's got some fun flowers. Linda's got a very cool style, so check her out when she's up. She's got a fun style about her, no doubt. All right, so I'm just going to lay in the stem color here too, even though I probably would do the dress first. Just laying down so we can see what's happening. All right, let's throw in these purple little fun, see we've got these little fun background. So we're just going to lay a little bit of that in there too. I think I am. I'm just going to take a little bit of green and some of these white parts just to kind of give a little bit of a fill. Some of my paint is so thick. And I hate to use the dryer live. I really do. But anybody, again, that's watched me knows I have a tendency to just, I paint so thick. Gerber daisies would be beautiful. Yes, yes. All right, ladies, I am taking the oldest, kind of like an old beat up brush or stiffer brush that I can find. Hyacinths, yes. This morning, I took a picture of that and posted it this morning because I love them. I can't resist, like have to buy them when I see them. I'm mixing this. What is this? This is Brilliant Purple, and I'm going to mix just a little bit of indigo into it. It just tones it down just a bit. Again, just keeping that blue, which purple, of course, has tons of blue in it. But it just gives it a little bit of a little bit more depth to hold up to this background. Kind of. So I'm putting the paint on there. And if you don't, you could use a Q-tip for this. You could use anything, really. And I am just going to kind of start to go in a cone shape. Just all we're doing is just adding some more depth and interest to our flowers, right? I'll kind of bring this. Not really thinking too much, just kind of patting those down. Like I said, you could use a Q-tip. Just bring them thinner towards the end. And kind of bring one up in here. Added interest. So it sounds like you guys all have some fun things planned for today. Plus there's some really great artists coming on today. Great designs, great ideas. Okay, I think things like this I like to keep in this color mixing. Yeah, I usually don't use anything straight out of the bottle, ever. So that just gives us an idea. First layer, how am I doing on time? Doing well. I don't know why I think, because if I think I have all the time in the world, I'll start talking too much and run out of time. All right. While we're waiting on these flowers to dry just a bit more, we've got that green kind of going. And the purple laid in. Everything looks a little weird in the beginning of a painting. And I think any of these ladies in here can attest that it goes through a ugly stage before it goes through a pretty stage, before it gets to the pretty. It's just the way it works. All right, we're going to just lay down some white for her little legs. As I kind of cut them off, and I'm just giving the idea of an arm here. You can go into detail if you wanted. I'm trying to keep it very simple for you ladies, because again, whimsical painting is all about the impression not about the reality. This is just flesh or peach color. I usually mix both of them together. So again, nothing specific. I'll come back in with my micron pen. We're just getting that color in. Now typically, I forgot, I should have written steps down. The process, yes, love the process. It's about the process, right? Not the end product. I should have done the black on her dress first. Okay, so I'm going to just paint white on first. Just because the white of our paper or of our canvas or anything like that is not, it's unfinished. So lay down some white. Lay down some white. Okay. So we're just going to bring that over. And I did that thin, so that's going to dry fairly quickly. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to come back up and just put in a little bit more with some of them just look, you can just see, some of them need a little oomph on the flowers. I say scribble a lot. I even scribble when I paint, I would say. I scribble with my micron pen. But we've got too much white in this. A little too much white spots. Now it's going to, when we get the black paint going up here and define these flowers, you're going to see how everything kind of just pops out. But we've got to make that definition. Okay. So you just have a little bit of an idea, and you're just kind of, put some light pink, some dark pink. I'm not sure what this, I've got a little white blob going here, so we're going to change that. And we're going to bring that in, and we're going to just scribble. Okay. Wash my brush out, straight up black. I do recommend flat filbert, not a round, to get your nice straight lines, okay? With your brush, if you kind of just come along the edge, you'll have like a nice edge. And brace, like some people will hold their whole hand, some people hold their hands, but if you kind of put your pinky out or you're just used to resting, lightly hold your brush. The harder you squeeze your brush, and the way if you're focusing too much on squeezing your brush and staying straight, you're going to be you're going to not be as steady as you want. Relax. Breathe in. Let it all out. Just let that brush rest in your hand. Just let it rest. Just let it rest in your hand. And yeah, because ladies, I have I have arthritis and different issues, and so my hand shakes a lot between the coffee and everything else. The process to get blank, that's there. Push to the mess to get to the finished piece. Exactly, Anna. The way you dance. Yeah, ladies, the biggest thing you'll see in this whole painting, or almost if you follow me, if you're over at Sugar Hill, once you're new there, you'll see It's about the process. I don't think much at all. I kind of just do. So I am just painting in here again on the edges, kind of sweeping it the way the dress would flow. That's just going to help us, right, have the illusion that her dress isn't flat and boring, right? We kind of give that sweep, and we'll come back in with a little gray to help highlight that again. Paint in that contour. Paint in that contour. Okay, that's all we're doing. Sometimes I'll use the edge like that to get my edge. Don't think, if you paint words, even if you're tracing them, don't think about it. Just kind of do it. Just let it be free. So I don't want this too choppy. Typically, like I said, when I painted that green in, I'm like, oops, I should have done the dress first. I didn't make notes. And that's still wet. So we're just going to throw in, and I'm going to hit more black up in that little corner, just looking at my time. If, switch your brush. If that's too much for you, switch to your brush out to a smaller brush. If you're not comfortable painting in that small space, use a Sharpie if you want. It'll look different. It's shiny and whatnot. You can use a marker, a felt tip marker, as long at the last bit if you needed to tune up your lines a little bit. But that's it. And then while it's wet, I will take, let me show you, and take some white, just a little bit of black, right? You don't need a lot. And kind of get a little gray going here. And I may have made it too dark. I'm just going to, right now, just lay down a little bit. And I'm working on mixed media paper, so again, it's going to dry right away. Just going to lay down a little bit on the edges. And you can go right over some of that black too. Just kind of going with the flow. And you see how this all comes together. And throw a little bit of that gray and white or on the black, right? It's going to be kind of like a little highlight. Just giving it dimension. Okay. We're going to let that dry, and then we'll come back in probably with some white. Can you guys see that okay? Do you need me to zoom in at all? All right. Let's bounce back to our leaves, and we need to make those pop a little bit. So go darker, go lighter. All right. You decide which which way you want to go. You want to throw in a little bit of the brighter green as highlights. Not all of your leaves have to be exactly the same. Pop a little bit of this green in here. I love lime green against pink. It was actually the colors of my wedding. Throw just a little bit of highlights in here. But we are going to come back in. We're just going to define that a little bit because I did go over it, right, with the. Let's just kind of dance a little bit with some different, just another layer, not on everything, right? If you keep it a little, a little bit different, you're adding dimension. I'm going to end up outlining these leaves. Whoops, that's okay. I'm just going to blend that in with black, which is going to give them some more depth too. Just whatever you see, however you like. Just, oops, that's not my water. Just keep dancing. This would be beautiful in watercolor. Like I said, I've done this style, girl holding bouquet, many times, and it works with all flowers and all flowers and all mediums. I would say watercolor would be gorgeous. It is gorgeous. All right, so now I've got my liner. We're coming in, and we are going to just start to kind of define. Just start to define some of our flowers. This is when shaky hands are good. All right. I'm not thinking too much, just kind of coming around a little bit and just kind of wiggle it around. You don't want a ton of, you want a good amount of paint so it flows. See, I'll bounce around because I know that my first wipe is going to be pretty bold with black, right? And then it starts to fade off. So it's allowing me to have different dimensions in the flower. We can come back in and just add a couple little parentheses inside the flower to kind of give us that look. Now you could do full on, circles and really define your flowers. You do you. That's what makes art gorgeous, is making sure you take everything that you even are seeing today. Ladies, make it yours. Make it yours. There's nothing wrong with doing exactly what we're doing. I'm not saying that at all, especially as you're just learning, because you are learning the process. But after you do one that looks, if you do one exactly like what I'm doing, do another one. Do another one that is totally you. Come in with my little parentheses. You could spiralize these, but just real quick, I'm really not thinking too much. I'm kind of just looking to see where I had some of my lines, even that I've defined. I'm not sticking right to the outside. You see how they're kind of in and out of the flowers. And then sometimes I find it easier to kind of go through. Oops, that was heavy. That's okay. See, you'll hear me say oops. I just love flowers. I mean, who isn't ready for flowers, right? In a normal spring. Then just kind of step back. You'll see where you need to, where you've missed. Define. Kind of hold it up, step back, step away. When I teach my students in their classes, I will grab their paper and walk back and hold it up while they're working, because when we're over it and looking down, we're missing so much. All right, while we have the black, we're going to just outline. Pick what leaf you want on the top. Just quick, not thinking too much. I don't want too much black in here, but I am going to kind of define a couple of them just on the bottom. See how I kind of just touch that bottom there? And just kind of define some of those. Yes, you can move your paper. Move your whatever substrate you're working on. Move that around. And kind of define a couple of these. Kind of get a little bit of that through there. Just helps make it pop out. This is one of those paintings that up close, there's definitely a lot to look at. I love that. I love detail. How are we doing? Oh, we're good. And we're just going to add a little bit in here. And we're going to round that off, and we're going to come in ever so slight. I'm barely touching. If you're not comfortable doing this with the brush, wait and do it with a pen. We'll do the other end with a pen. Okay, so now the fun part. What I have here, let's get a little bit more purple down. These are the moments I like. We're going to mix a little bit, have a little bit of that blue. Need more of the blue. Need more of the blue. And I'm just using the end of my brush, right? And I've got kind of that purpley color under my brush, and you're just polka dot that on. You guys see that okay? I don't know which way I just zoomed it. It doesn't. Let me make sure that it went the right way. Didn't go any which way. There we go. Just remind me that I've got it zoomed in. But see how we just add layer with that? And that's all I'm doing. Just coming in, kind of swirling around, and just dotting it. The end of your brush, if you want bigger, smaller, use a different brush. Can you guys see what I'm doing okay? I guess I zoomed in further than I thought I did. Do the lighter and the darker. Okay, you can see. You see that? Not being precise at all. Okay, and I think that's going to be in view. Doing the same thing with these. How are we looking? Fat Sharpies for the black lines? You can, Kathy, absolutely. The thing about Sharpies is what they will give you, and in a minute I'll get out my I'll get out the journal and I'll show you the difference between your acrylic paint. You can't tell that it's a Sharpie, but it's perfectly fine. I'm not saying you can't. Okay, you ladies see that? And then I'm just going to go back down and make sure things are good. But then we're going to kind of just throw purple dots. Throw purple dots kind of around in unexpected places. because it's just going to kind of keep your painting fun and free. So just kind of, don't be afraid. To throw the purple dots. I definitely want more up here. And then I'm just going to wipe that off. And we're going to come back in with white. Same thing. Just kind of just polka dot that white, just because we're working on the white. Just kind of polka dot that through. You could do this with any color, obviously. Just adds a little bit more fun and whimsy. Technically, it allows your eye, and I know you guys can't. I will zoom in a little bit. The lighting is a little off. You guys, I don't think, can see my white dots as well on the white, but they're there. And we're going to flip to the other side. And we're going to add white highlights. Just like with the black, we're just going to add white squiggles. Just throw them in there. Just throw them in there. And just kind of squiggle around. Go both, like, you know, don't always bring your hand down in the same direction. Kind of move your wrist around. And if that doesn't come normal, move the paper. You know, if going in different directions feels weird to you, just move your paper then. You just don't want, you don't want all your lines going the same way. All right, we're going to just hit a little bit on the leaves. Just add a little bit of white on those leaves. You could add, you know, yellow if you're not totally into the white. Okay, and then we're going to just pick another color or two. So I have Diva Pink, which kind of really looks cool on top of this fuchsia. And same thing, we're just going to, on some of them, add in some bold pink. You could do yellow, you could do purple. It's making sense to everybody? Super simple. Now remember, if you are popping on, if you sprinkle, you will be registered at the end for Happy Mail. A chance to win Happy Mail. And if you want to know more about kind of layering and exploring, you need to be over in my free art journaling group. I gotta not forget. Kathy, don't let me forget. Okay, so that's all the pink. You need something that makes things really stand out is a surprise color, okay? So I'm gonna take this teal and my liner brush, and I just in a couple of random places, I'm going to add this teal. Just add a surprise color and keep it very simple, right? Not everywhere. Just a nice little, and you could do that with several colors. Mel, you love the art journaling group? Oh, I'm happy to hear that. I love it too. I really, really do. Okay, Micron pens, those of you that follow me know it's my best friend, my BFF, because it's water soluble, right? Waterproof. So if I wanted to seal this afterwards, this isn't going to run. The thing with Sharpies, and I'm just going to do my scribble around because, I don't know, I didn't do it on the other one, but I do need to come back in with a little bit more white on this, on her dress. But you guys get the general idea. Just the idea of an arm. You could be much more detailed if you wanted. Let me come back in with my white. I'm just kind of very slightly go over it, and I'll blend it. Whoops! In my hand, just if it's looking too separated. All right. And my liner brush, we're going to just give her a little bit of highlight. Just like if, think about where that sun is hitting. I do want some of this green in the stems. Brighter green. Whoops. Didn't wish my wish. That's okay. And while I have it out, I think I'm going to hit, I like this bright lime green a little bit better than the white. It seems to stand out a little bit more. There we go. And nothing you do, especially with acrylics, they dry quickly, they layer beautifully, nothing is permanent. So if you're new to acrylics, nothing's permanent. I'm so doing this about 100 times. I'm telling you. Card, Marty, cards. My process is messy. Thank you, Tameko. How do I say your name so I don't distract? Is it Tameko? I'll destroy it. I'm sorry. I think my cat just hit the mean face on my phone. Linda. And that's pretty much it, ladies. I mean, you can, keep going, do what you want, add a little bit more white. You can see, like, things are always going to, oh, I forgot about the edge. Don't forget the edge. I use my finger. You can use a brush if you're afraid of paper cuts. I'm not going along that. My hand's more on the top. And then just use your other finger. But you can use a palette knife, you can use a spoon, you can use your brush. But it's just, it's just another one of those steps that helps finish. Even if you're framing this, am I on time? I'm good. Even if I'm framing this, right, and kind of just gives it a nice finished edge. You'll see if you watch Linda Calloway, she draws in borders. They're very pretty, goes with her work. You'll start, now that if you're not familiar with this process, you'll start to look and you'll see a lot of art has a border around it that you may have never noticed before, but you'll paint yours and you'll be like, why does that one always look so finished and mine doesn't? Yes, Marty likes her rubber gloves. I don't know how she does it. I stain things without my rubber gloves. All right, I feel like I'm still a little zoomed in here. Okay. So, that's that. And that took me a little bit longer than typical. This one I obviously am not cutting down. But the PDF that I give you fits on an 8x10. So this was an 8x10 PDF. What did I do with it? Right? I just printed it on my computer. And so you could shrink it if you needed to, do a 5x7 card or whatnot. Shrink it down. And this is on a 9x12 piece. So you can see same design, two different pieces of paper, like same size exactly. All right. Okay. So it's just fun. Just layer and have fun. Did I forget anything? I don't think I did. You could define or put flowers down on the bottom. There's so much you could do. Okay. So again, if you sprinkle this video, which is the SHARE word, right? If you do that right now, or when you're watching the replay later tonight after everybody is done, because I won't interrupt all these other beautiful instructionals that you are going to have today, you will be entered to win the Happy Mail. And if you put the word sprinkle in the comments, because sometimes some of you have not public accounts, so when you sprinkle and I look to see, it doesn't always tell me everybody. It tells me 30 people sprinkled, but I can only see 20 of you, so you can put it in here. Okay, yes. So the text group, let's talk about that. I'm glad you said that, Lisa. 81010 is a general number. So you put that in your phone. And then as your message, you're going to put in @SugarHill2. Okay? I couldn't use just Sugar Hill. I needed to tell you could only use 2. I couldn't even put in Sugar Hill Art. So @SugarHill2, and then you will be joined to my list. So the 81010 is a general number. Yep, that is used for all kinds of things, right? And the Remind app, anybody that has kids in school, they use that a lot. And then @SugarHill2 is your message. Send that, and you will be added to my text messages. So every time I go live, and that's what we're going to talk about, is who here is in my art journaling group? So we have so much fun over there. Every month, every month I have prompts, 21 journal prompts, okay? And then each, yes, and thank you for signing up. 21 journal prompts for the month. And then each prompt I put in a unit, which is now called guides, right? It's now called guides. And underneath that guide, everybody shares what they're doing. All right. So again, this is one that's been painted. I'm going to move this just because she's wet. But I work and recommend the Canson mixed media, and I love the 5.5 by 8.5 group. Thank you, Linda. 5.5 by 8.5 size for journaling. Some people work big. You could totally use the 9 by 12. There's something in working small, especially when you're learning and trying different things. It gives you a little bit more freedom. So, like we did sweaters this January. I went through what contour line drawings are, okay? We do everything. And any of these girls that are in there can tell you, there's mixed media, freehand drawing with markers. My one prompt in January was this Canson is any mixed media pad mouse. So if there's any other mixed media, and these are 98 pounds. So look for the 98-pound weighted paper. You don't want anything that's less than 90 pounds. That's basically the biggest thing you're looking for, is just the thickness in the papers. So ladies, we just do all kinds of different techniques. I'll put in, this was a class that I did. You can see I love doing girls. This was a fun little prop from one of my other friends because there are so many wonderful artists. Hi, good morning, Lynn. We did face drawing and just kind of played with that. This was something I did. Rainbow blending. Here we are in what's the month? March. Yes, your journal is that. I went through teaching you how to mix, and this is liquid, my Liquitex basic acrylic versus craft paints. All right, watercolor blobs. We did, mixed media. So if you want to take your art journaling to the next level or really want to start to explore, hi Linda, how are you? Good morning. Really want to explore? Get on over into that group. And I don't know, I can link it right here. Let me, copy link and come back over here. Command V. There we go. So right there is this group. So little mixed media fun. This was doodling on a napkin, right? We had that prompt in here, napkin doodles, this was the March poem too. This we painted with coffee and tea. So in March, I have been or tried to do everyday live. Yes. So when you go into the group, you will see the guides and then there's videos. And I do want to organize them a little bit more. It won't be, it'll just be twice, I think, in April. But yeah, I even if I miss a day, the ladies can attest. I'll jam pack, 2 or 3 prompts into one. So this was coffee and tea with a little bit of watercolor. We made pockets because everybody needs pockets in their journal and flip cards, right? Daffodils and rainbow blending. This, What Makes You Smile. She was one of my favorites. Our book stacks, oil pastel donuts. So yes, we do everything in my mixed media and art journaling group. So again, it's 100% free. You are welcome to join. Like I said, we do the prompts. These ladies share. So underneath like the book stack prompt, it'll have this green look to it. Underneath that prompt, you will see probably 10 different drawings from everybody in the group that added their uniqueness to it. They put it in there. We encourage each other. Some women post, some don't, and we just we had fun with the rainbow. This was my rainbow page because I will use this in the journal prompts or in my, mixed media. I have lots of great color now. So I encourage you to, yes, going back through your journal is super fun. And so we've got in here so far January, February, and March. I think April and May should fit. So maybe not all, and I don't have this was another one, like all page. No, you will not feel lost as a newbie. I have a lot of newbies. I get a lot of messages, Lisa, from women that are like, I've never art journaled before, or thank you so much. I'm so glad. It's a very simple, this might seem overwhelming as I throw all this at you. It's really not. See, Joni can attest. You start where you are. There's no catching up. I cycle back around, so we do very basic things, and then we go into a little bit more detail. Sometimes I probably give way too much away for free. Mel's a newbie. Yep, she's another one that just joined and is new to art journaling. Ladies, when we work small and we explore all the different mediums out there, your you're not only freeing yourself to the beauty of art therapy, but you're just allowing yourself to create, and you're not worrying about coming up with like the perfect finished picture. You are just diving into being creative, and you're just being you're just creating. You're learning yourself, who you are, what type of artist. I try to break everything down. Thank you, Marty. Eventually, we'll paint the covers. I'll work on April's prompts this week. So this week, we're down to 6 left for March, and we are going to have string art, sketch something from a recent nature walk. So if you go on a walk and you see something, pick it up and bring it home and set it on your table. Banners, use a book page. We do that often. Bouquets, and how does your garden grow? Prompts are, not everybody interprets, like, what makes you smile. This is just what I saw. Like, I just had this big smile, squinty eye, sweet little girl in my mind. And all of this are things that make me smile written in the background. You don't have to do that. Some people just drew a mouth, like I had the Twizzler mouth in my head. Or you could just take a rainbow page and write, what makes me smile, and journal on top of that. Yes. And don't be afraid in your journals, right, to leave blank pages, which I thought I had a lot of them. Oh, this was another really fun one too, right? What does your hand hold? Everybody did have a lot of fun with that one. But if you have blank pages, you just paint it and you can journal in that. Here is a blank page. I could paint over it and journal in that. About how I'm feeling about art, how I'm feeling creatively. There's lots of things. So that is coming up this week. The group is linked in there, Sugar Hill Free Art Group. And then if you are on my text, the other thing, you'll be the first to know. We are going to do flowers. I think I'm going to do a 3 or 4 day flower event, just with some different flower. You can see some of them up there. Just a fun floral extravaganza. That is coming in April, and I'm very excited about it. So if you are on the text chain, you'll be one of the first to know. And then also, if you got the tracer, you're now on my email list. And if you're not on my email list, you'll want to be on that, just so you're one of the first, because we might do a little discount for the first couple of people to sign up, or it will be limited. So you do want to make sure that you're in there. And yeah, put a happy face in the middle. If intimidated, draw a face for what makes me smile. Yeah, your art journal should not look like my journal. Your art journal should look like you. And a lot of the ladies will attest that I am going to push you to that. And you use what you have. So Lisa, thank you. Lisa, if you're new and you don't have a lot, you're fine. We use markers. I use watercolors, like Crayola watercolors. You don't need a lot. Acrylic paints. We use what we have. Mixed media. Start saving pretty napkins, tissue paper, an old book, old music. What else, lady? I mean, anything. Bubble wrap. Bubble wrap's a big one. You just get a couple of bins, keep your things in there, and we just explore. So make sure you are following Sugar Hill Art Studio. Set your notifications. You are welcome. I'd love to have you join the group if you would like to. The Sugar Hill Free Art Group. I think it's called Free Art Journal and Mixed Media. Yeah, get on the text get on the text chain and on the email list so you are aware of all the fun things I have coming up, because who isn't ready for spring and you're rejuvenated and everything. So I apologize because I forgot who is up next, but it honestly doesn't matter because there are 6 more amazing art tutorials coming at every single one of you. Remember, if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you're here. Just say hi or just hit replay. Any text or any comment that I missed, I'm going to go back through and probably after I eat breakfast. Thank you, Linda. Probably after I eat breakfast, and I will reply to all of your comments. So again, if you're watching the replay, comment away, ask questions, and I will share just about everything I can with you. And yeah, that's that. Any questions, always DM me. Share your, after you do these, share, and the mixed media, this is going to be a event, a class coming up too. This was the same idea. This is just done mixed media style. So be on the lookout for this too. All right. All right. So you guys go stand up, shake it out, have fun following everybody else for the rest of the day. And remember, even on replay, if you share, if you sprinkle, if you share, then you will, TNT, you will be entered. 8 o'clock tonight, I will do a Happy Mail giveaway. And so there'll be something really fun in there. So if you do, leave it in the comments that you share, and you will be entered to win Happy Mail. All right, everybody, have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, now I have to find where. I love this app, but it gets tricky when I have to close it out. Okay, bye, everybody. Have a beautiful Sunday. See ya.